Hello, my name is Daryl Wigington. I'm with Bug Masters Exterminating, based out of North Little Rock, Arkansas. Today we're going to take a few moments of time and we're going to cover the topic of bed bugs. Specifically talking about bed bugs in eliminating them with heat. Now, if you use the word heat when it comes to bed bugs, that's a pretty relative term, because there's many different ways you could use heat to kill bed bugs. You could take a steamer, power steamer, steam clean your mattresses, you will kill bed bugs that way. You can put your clothes in a laundry commercial dryer, and you'll kill bed bugs inside your clothes. But today, when we talk about heat, we're going to talk about heat remediation in the sense that coming in and taking heat and heat up the whole structure of of apartment or a single dwelling, not just using heat in one certain area, just around the beds or just in clothes, but in the whole structure. That's done by bringing commercial heaters, having commercial fans, distributing the heat throughout the structure. And if you get the heat up to a certain temperature, it will kill all the bed bugs, and also will kill all the stages of the bed bugs and their eggs also. To get to that point to where you kill all the bed bugs, the adults and the eggs, you have to get to a minimum of 120 degrees Fahrenheit. It does not take long to get 120 degrees in a room, in the room temperature, but it does take a while longer to get to 120 degrees Fahrenheit into all the items of the apartment, like inside the couch, inside the mattresses, places that are hard to get. And one way we do that is when we bring our equipment in and we set up our heaters and all our fans, we also have heat sensors that we will put out throughout the apartment. And we will place those heat sensors in areas we feel like are the most hardest place to reach, would be the last place the heat would get to heat up. We will come in that morning, set up the equipment, turn on the heaters, and throughout the day we will have heat. We would go and check the heat sensors and make sure we have everything to at least have 120 degrees Fahrenheit. When we have reached that temperature in all places throughout the unit, at that point we know we have achieved elimination of bed bugs. We're going to continue to speak more about this, but I want to go back and just talk a little bit about bed bugs in general as far as their biology. How do you get bed bug job? How do you get bed bugs? And how can you prevent from getting bed bugs in the first place? First, we'll begin speaking about how do you know you have bed bugs? First and foremost, the number one way is basically just seeing them. A lot of time a tenant or a homeowner will come in and say, listen, I've been seeing these bugs, they kind of look like ticks. Bed bugs, they're kind of a reddish color. They're oval shaped and about the size of a tick, but they're more flat. So if you're finding these bugs, and usually around your couches, usually around your bedding, and the reason why you find those areas is because bed bugs, they have to have blood to survive. and they're most active at night. So it makes sense that if you're finding these bugs that kind of look like ticks and they're kind of flat, and you're finding mainly in these areas, because bed bugs, they feed on people at night while you're sleeping. So they would come out and bite you at night, and they will go back in the cracks and crevices during the daytime. Then the next night, and it basically becomes a cycle. They bite you, they go through some different molting stage, and every time they molt, which is 5 stages of the molting stage, each time they have to have their blood meal, and they deposit their eggs in cracks and crevices, and then they begin to multiply and become an infestation. But like I say, the most likely place you will find bed bugs will be around your bed and around your couches, where you spend most of your time at night. So to detect bed bugs, you can look around, take a flashlight, look around the edges of your couch, the seams, the cracks of your couch, and also the seams of your mattresses, box springs, your bed railings, and also like your headboard and your footboard, and just take a good light look in cracks and crevices. That's where they will be. In addition to actually finding bed bugs, the bugs themselves, you also can look for blood smears or blood splatters. Many times when bed bugs, they come and bite people at night. Sometimes they'll leave specks of blood pretty visible on the sheet, especially if you have say a medium to heavy infestation. If you have a real light infestation, you may not pick up on this. So you look for bed bugs. Also, you can look for little blood smears or blood spots, usually on white material. It's easy to be seen. Also, you can look for bed bugs fecal matter, which is just basically little tiny real dark spots. And sometimes you can see a lot of heavy spots around the mattresses, maybe around your headboard, but it's just really dark spots. A lot of times you have a bunch of little tiny spots all congregated together. And so those are 3 main things you look for when you're trying to detect bed bugs. How do they feed? Once again, majority of their feeding is done at night, usually pre-dawn, a couple hours before 4 or 5 in the morning when they're most active, but they will bite throughout the night. If you was to take a camera and put it right on a bed bug has 2 little tubes that come out of their spout there. When they bite you, the first tube will insect saliva into you, and the second tube will withdraw the blood. Now, when you're bitten by bed bugs, more times than not, you will not realize you've been bit, because the saliva almost acts like an anesthesia to where you don't even feel it. It's usually the next morning you'll see a little redness on your skin. At that point, you realize something bit you in the middle of the night. Now, it's hard to tell by looking at a bite if it's actually a bed bug, because different people are affected in different ways from bed bugs. Some are a little more allergic, and so their bites usually are a lot redder, sometimes bigger, sometimes smaller. So most of the time it's just hard to know for sure by looking at the bite if you have bed bugs. But if you're being bit while you're in bed at night, bed bugs need to be on your radar. At that point, you need to take it a step further and start looking for the other signs I spoke about earlier. Many times a person is bit on the arms or their upper body. Usually because at night they're covered with sheets, and usually the upper arms and the upper body are usually not covered, so that's usually the areas that bed bugs bite you. Unless you sleep in bed, you don't have a cover on you or a sheet, you'd be more apt to be bitten anywhere. bed bugs, they go through a complete metamorphosis. I'm sorry, incomplete metamorphosis, egg, nymph, and adult. You have the adult who bites the adults, bites the individuals. They will deposit their eggs. The eggs will hatch, and the nymph will go through 5 molting stages. In each stage, they will get a little bit bigger and look more like the adult. And finally, the last stage, they will become a adult bedbug. But the molting stage, they go through 5 of them. In order for them to go from one molting stage to another, each time they have to have a blood meal. The life cycle from egg to adult can last several months. In each stage, they can live for several months in each stage, depending on the circumstances. And that's one of the hardest things about bed bugs, is that you may take a couch that has bed bugs upon it. You could put it in a storage for almost a year, and within a year you still will have live bed bugs, even though they've had no contact with human beings, they've had no blood meals. They still can be alive up almost